right, so I've been super busy starting a new job, but I wanted to give you guys an update on the feeds before the live eviction. So to start with, Nicole A has been bugging out. She was freaking out about the votes, if it was gonna go towards Kevin or Keisha, and she was talking to Ian about it, and Ian, like the legend that he is, he was like, I'm not gonna vote with the house, I'm gonna vote however I want, but he was saying that he's pretty sure that Kevin is leaving, and Nicole A kind of freaked out and kind of was going against Ian and then talking about him and going to other people and asking around. She was counting votes. She's going a little crazy, but yeah. I mean, I really wanted her to side with Janelle and Kaysar, but she's really taking all the information that she gets from Janelle and taking it elsewhere to the other side of the house. But she really is pushing for Kevin to stay. And as of right now, it really is looking like he is going to stay. As of what I just saw right now, Janelle and Kaysar are giving up trying to campaign for Keisha. Keisha was doing not so great of a job campaigning for herself. So Janelle and Kaysar are kind of giving up and just being like, well, it's gonna happen, gonna go with the house and keep Kevin and try to get him on our side, talk to him. Right now, their read on the house isn't spectacular. They think that Cody's not coming after them. They think that Christmas is, and that's where they're leaning right now. Their read on things are questionable. They still haven't figured out that Memphis isn't on their side, which is a big one. Danny was also getting a little annoyed with Memphis, saying that he thinks he runs the house, which I'm like, yes, turn on him. She also has been getting annoyed with Cody. It's only a matter of time before this big alliance just cracks. It's just, will they get out Janelle and Kaysar beforehand, or maybe Ian beforehand? I don't know. I'm hoping that it cracks before that. Maybe Janelle and Kaysar wisen up, get that HOH, and take out somebody from that side. Ian and Janelle had a really great talk, and they basically said that they have each other's back. So I'm like, yes, work together and let's do this. Get to the other side. I really have no clue what Ian would do if he won that HOH. He hasn't really said it. I don't know who he fully trusts. Seems like Nicole F, but there's also times that I think he's kind of laying her. Him and Nicole F had some talk where they mentioned if the safety suite comes up next week and Janelle or Kaysar have that HOH, that they both go in it like Janelle and Kaysar did this week. He's smarter than that, so I think he's playing something. He knows he's on the outs. He mentioned it to Nicole A, so he's smart and I believe in him, so I know that he'd make the right move. Kevin actually mentioned targeting Memphis. I know he also mentioned targeting Janelle and Kaysar, but he did mention targeting Memphis, which I'm like, come on, let's do it. Memphis also approached Christmas about the whole alliance, you know, that whole rehearsed speech that he has. Nicole F had another breakdown. She's had these crying attacks, and she blames Janelle. She says Janelle was keeping her up. She complains about Janelle not wearing her costume. It's just this whole big ordeal, and I like how she blames Janelle for keeping her up when she was talking about her BB boyfriends. So I'm like, Ian did tell Cody that he's autistic. I'm hoping this buys some time with him with Cody, because Danny was complaining that Ian uses that to his advantage, and Cody was like, no, I don't think he does. I think that's just truly who he is. And for the first time this season, I'm like, yes, Cody, I agree with you. Cody, who has made questionable comments on COVID, and he stands up for Ian and says that's not true to Danny. So I'm like, Danny, what's wrong? It's sad because Janelle does confide a lot in Nicole A, and she does with Bailey too, but Bailey hasn't run around sharing this information, which makes me feel that Bailey is genuinely loyal to Janelle, which I'm like, yes, like Day, Bay, Janelle, Kaysar, and Ian, please form an alliance for all of us. This is what we want. Janelle did Nicole A's makeup yesterday, and it was so cute. I was like, oh, like, she looks so pretty. I think I would faint if Janelle did my makeup. I'd be so happy. Janelle was talking about this foundation that she uses that's Japanese. I was like, I know Janelle knows her makeup and she knows the good things in life. Janelle thinks she has Danny, which is really sad because she doesn't. Danny really runs to the other side and says everything, and she really does not have Janelle's back in the game. They may be friends outside of the house, yes, but in the game, Danny really is playing, and she's in an awesome position. So I could hate the comments she makes, but she's in a really good position in the house. I think it's a matter of time before it all blows up. I'm sure she's gonna get tired of Memphis, tired of Cody real soon. So they did COVID testing yesterday, and it seems like they're all okay, which is good. there'd be serious issues if they all tested positive. I don't even know what would happen at that point. They just have to cancel the whole season. So like I mentioned, Keisha can't complain. I think Janelle was saying that Keisha was telling people to keep her around because she won't eat their food. Keisha's done with it. She's been out of the BB world for a really long time. She's just been living her life. So at least she's getting that money, that 40K, and leaving, because I don't know if she really truly wants to be there. I don't see her heart really in it. Kevin has been campaigning like crazy, so at this point he deserves it. I really don't want him to target Kaysar and Janelle. I know Janelle had a talk with him about him probably staying and that she would vote for him, and he's like, oh, I will pay back the people that keep me around. I don't know how he's gonna do favors for all those people if it's the whole house. But yeah, Keisha is still on the outs, and it doesn't really look like it's gonna change. And I'm a big fan of her. I loved her on season 10, but I don't see it turning around. Janelle and Kaysar have tried. So yeah, I'm excited to see today's episode and all the DR sessions that come along with it. Yay, watching episode 3 right now. So I was hoping that they would show the Ian talk with Kaysar, but they did one where he's talking to Kevin and Nicole F and Nicole A. So I'm like, I mean, that's fine. I'm glad they're including it. I know I'm probably complaining. I'm glad they're showing it. I think it's such an important thing to talk about and to show that he's fine with it and he's come to terms with it and he's successful and great and just an awesome human being. So, you know, I'm not going to complain about that, but I would have liked the one with him and Kaysar. Kevin picking Enzo because he had nobody else just breaks my heart. I feel so bad for him. But with all this campaigning, he deserves it. And honestly, I just feel bad seeing either one of them go. But Ian looks so cute. Keisha picked his name for the POV and him running up. I was like, I just, whenever he comes up on my screen, I'm like, yes, can I please get some more DR sessions? Nicole F's comment about Ian puking when they show that it's gonna be the saddle with the banana. I mean, he was feeling super sick because of the slop, so... Oh my god, Enzo riding the banana. Oh my god, what? Ian looked really funny too, and his commentary on it. Oh my god, this is so funny. Cody timed out and it was so satisfying. But then Ian timed out and I'm like, not gonna lie, Kevin timing out was so heartbreaking. So I already knew that Nicole F was who Ian trusted the most in the house, but hearing him say it in the DR session just hit differently. I just want him to be careful, but you know, when he said that he's gonna make sure that he's the 2-time winner, not her, I was like, that's my boy. And Nicole calls him her backup plan. Like, Cody will get rid of her. You know, he will burn her again, so she could go ahead and say that, but Ian's her best option. I definitely see Enzo making it really far. He's in such a great position and he has a great social game. He picked up on the Nicole F Ian alliance, and even though he didn't use the power veto on Kevin, Kevin isn't gunning for him.